Here you can see the exemplar for the all-in-one shirt, placket and facing. You can see it in the yellow highlighted area. That is the placket facing panel. On the TD, you can see a princess panel line that runs through the bust point. So you've got your side panel, then you also have your center front panel, which is cut on fold, but has a squared out area where the placket is inserted. There is the collar, and you will also be drafting a facing. You can see the princess panel running through the bust point. And then you will start drafting your placket from the center front. Choosing the width of your placket is a choice that can be influenced either by style or by the button size that you want to use. On plackets where a smaller button is used, you can get away with a placket that is 2 centimeters in width, especially if you have a button that is only 1 centimeter in width. On this placket, in this exemplar though, we are using a 4 centimeter width. We started drafting from the center front and drew 2 centimeters inwards and 2 centimeters away from the center front. The facing extends 5 centimeters from the neckline in the shoulder seam, and then we extended it 2 centimeters outward from the placket and just blended it upwards like you would a normal facing. Once your 4 centimeter placket area has been drafted, it can be folded on its edge, and that's where you will be drafting, you'll be tracing the facing area of that placket. When you fold it open, that extended yellow area is where that tracing line would have gone. The facing will be traced in the other direction, so basically flipped, so that your fabric will be right side up when the facing is folded into the garment. These are the finished patterns of the center front panel and the placket. You can see your folded over center front panel with the top placket visible and slid into that area that has been cut out of the center front panel. As I turn this around, you can see the faced area. You can see where it's all been seamed together and folded over. And you can also see how it was all fitted into that center front panel. Looking at the front again, the top placket piece gets the buttonholes, and then the underneath placket is where you will be sewing your buttons, so it becomes your button stand. Folding it open and pulling it outwards, you will get a different angle to see how this gets attached. So you'll literally just be placing right sides together and stitching it down that panel line. With both sides opened up, you can see they look exactly the same. The only difference is that the one side would be pushed in underneath the other. I am now taking the patterns apart to show you what the center front panel will look like without the placket panels attached. At the bottom of the placket insert area of the center front panel, the seam allowance has been cut in or slit in diagonally in order to allow for the seam allowance to be folded inwards and backwards. In this pattern, your placket facing panels will be mirrored copies of each other. The only difference between the two being the placement of markings. Your left-hand side panel will indicate where buttons should be placed, whereas your right-hand side panel will indicate where buttonholes should be placed.